This is a Chefman ThermoElectric cooler. It cost me $33 on Amazon, and it's about the cheapest thermoelectric cooler you can buy. It has inside a 4-liter capacity, has a little removable shelf. Basically means you can put 4 soda cans and a sandwich on top, or you could have 6 soda cans in here. It's enough for a lunch. Because it is thermoelectric, it can act as a heater and a cooler. So you have a switch, you can switch to hot or off if you want it to work as an insulated box or cold. It has dual power supplies, so you can power it with a 110 volt plug from a house outlet or a 12 volt cigarette lighter adapter type plug from a vehicle. Now, this unit has a little ridge that fits into the foam brackets and a latch to latch it shut. It does a pretty good job of staying shut. Now, when I plugged this in, it took 58 watts peak when it first starts up, but then it seems to average out to about 45 or 46 watts continuously. It actually came with a little Energy Giant sticker, which I found was pretty funny. I found their estimate to be a little bit low. They say 252 kilowatt hours a year. At 45 watt average, I was calculating closer to 400. I've never seen this thing cycle on and off when it's in cold mode. In hot mode, it will do that when it reaches about 110 degrees Fahrenheit or 44 centigrade. But in cold mode, I've never seen it get cold enough to turn off and cycle. So it is wildly inefficient because it is a thermoelectric cooler. Now, I was evaluating this to use in my van to store meat and cheeses, and unfortunately it doesn't really get cold enough for me. I was testing it in the house at 79 degrees Fahrenheit ambient. That's I think 26 degrees centigrade. And at those ambient temperatures, it was getting a delta of about 16 degrees centigrade or 29 degrees Fahrenheit, which meant it got down to about 10 degrees centigrade or 51 degrees Fahrenheit, which is chilly. It's cool. It's certainly better to store drinks or a sandwich in there than have it out in the open. But it's not really cold enough for long-term storage of meat. Now, this is a thermoelectric cooler, and so it's maintaining a temperature difference between the fan-cooled radiator in the back and the interior. And so when ambient temperature goes down, when it went down to a lower ambient temperature like 25 degrees centigrade or 77 Fahrenheit, our delta stays the same, and so it was able to go down to about 9 degrees centigrade or 48 Fahrenheit. So if you're in a cool office environment where it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, this thing will get things cold enough to be a refrigerator. But if you're out in a vehicle and your vehicle is not air conditioned and you're at 110 degrees Fahrenheit, this isn't getting anywhere near cold enough to be a fridge. But it does work and it cools things down. Now, it doesn't have a lot of excess cooling capacity, so if you put something in here that's not cold and you want it to cool it down, it'll take a long time to do that. So the recommendation is put things in that are pre-chilled, or if you're heating things, put things in that are preheated. From the heating standpoint, when I flip the switch to hot, it started heating things up. The highest temperature I was able to observe inside of it was 111 Fahrenheit or 44 centigrade, and it would cycle. It took about 30 minutes to get up to that temperature, and then the fan would turn off and the red LED would slowly dim down until the temperature went down a little bit, and then the fan would turn back on and would start heating some more. And so it does cycle. It does seem like that's the maximum temperature height-wise. I don't know if there is a minimum temperature. I believe it's based on ambient atmospheric temperature outside. So the colder the ambient is, the colder the inside is going to be. As I said, I've never seen it cycle in cool temperatures. So if you're looking to keep something that's pre-chilled cool for 6 hours until you eat your lunch, if you're looking for something small on your desk, it's a pretty reasonable situation. It'll keep a can of coffee or a mug of coffee warm-ish. It'll certainly keep it from cooling down as fast if you keep it inside than if it's not inside. But for me, it didn't have enough cooling power to get things cold enough for long-term storage, so it's not going to work in my van for what I was going to use it for. Noise-wise, it's pretty quiet. The only moving part is a little fan in here. It's kind of equivalent to a quiet computer fan. You can hear it in a silent environment, but it's not at all annoying at all. So it's a pretty moderate noise, and if you're in an office environment, you won't hear it over the other things in the office. Alright, so ambient temperature is about 24 degrees centigrade. These cans have been sitting out. They're about 22 degrees centigrade because they were on the floor. That's about 71 degrees Fahrenheit. So basically room temperature cans. I'm going to put 4 12-ounce cans in the little micro fridge. Now I'm also putting in a small dish of water, and this just has 30 milliliters of water in it, and that purpose there is just to give me some place to dip this temperature probe in so I can get a kind of ambient inside temperature measurement on the fridge. Alright, we're 6 hours in, 260 watt hours. Still drawing 45 watts continuously. Alright, the water's down to 12.8 centigrade, or 54, 55 Fahrenheit. Let's see what this can is at. Try that can. 5960, 15 degrees centigrade. Alright, just about 12 hours, 530 watt hours. Alright, this guy's been running for 24 hours and it's used 1.08 kilowatt hours, so it looks like 365 kilowatt hours a year. It's averaging about 45 watts continuous use. Ambient temperature is down to 22. Let's see what we're at here. Alright, we have 9.5 centigrade, which is about 48, 49 Fahrenheit. Let's see, I'll take a can from the back just in case they're colder. Alright, so we have 47.3 or 8.5, 8.4 degrees centigrade. Cool, but not really cold enough. Let's compare that to my gold standard of refrigeration, my household fridge. Alright, this guy has been in my fridge for a while. So, 5.4, 3.6 centigrade, 38.5 Fahrenheit. So that's under 4 or 5 degrees centigrade and under 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So just kind of recommendation refrigeration temperatures. That is noticeably cooler.